G'day guys, Coach Steve here. First of all, thank you for letting me be a part of your weight loss journey. Really excited to be a part of what is going to be the first day of the rest of your life. So we're going to go through a couple of things at the moment where setting up the apps is going to be like detrimental to this whole process. All right, so you should have two apps downloaded by now, which is the yellow app here, which is Trainerize, and MyFitnessPal, which is the blue app. These will link up systematically, work together, and we'll be able to follow your progress and track your foods with you and be able to set you on the right path. So if we go into MyFitnessPal, you'll see MyFitnessPal starts off with the dashboard. So with the dashboard here, what we want to do is scroll over to Diary. Now, Diary is going to allow us to log the food. This is why we're in this app in the first place. But I want you to kind of disregard this for now, and we're going to set up the app properly to hit the ground running. So before we do that, what I want you to do is go to More. I want you to go down the bottom and find Settings, and then click on Settings, go to Diary Settings, Diary Sharing, and make sure this is clicked to Public. Now, if it's not public, I can't see your food tracking in Trainerize. So it's very, very important. We need to switch that over. So the other thing that I need you to do is go back into the main screen of the menu. Here we'll see that it says Goals. Go into Goals. Down the bottom, it'll say Exercise Calories On. I need you to turn this off. Now, this is a premium feature. And while we look at premium features, MyFitnessPal is either a free version or a paid version. Now, with anything, you're not going to get very far with the free version. So I say to everybody, if you're going to do this, you do it right. Invest in the paid version. This will allow you to track to the gram, which is exactly what we need you to do. This is why we're here. If you're going to do it right, and just pay for the year subscription to MyFitnessPal. It's cheaper than the monthly by far. So just make sure that you have subscribed, and then you'll unlock all these features I'm about to show you. So with exercise calories turned off, we want to go over to calorie, carbs, protein, and fat goals. Now in Trainerize, I've now set you a current macro target: proteins, fats, and carbs. What you need to do in MyFitnessPal is change those protein, fats, and carbs to exactly what I've given you. So if we have a look, we'll land here on the percentage here. I want you to go over to grams. Now with grams, in your Trainerize, I should have set you your carbs. Say for this example, I've set yours to 150. So we'll scroll this down to 150. Protein, I've set you to 170. And your fats, I set you to 55. That gives a total of 1775. So once you've locked that in, you click OK, you back out, and you'll see that they have now changed in your diary. So up the top here where the three dots are, usually MyFitnessPal will auto-configure it to calories remaining. Okay, so calorie focused. We don't want that. We want to go to macronutrients focus, which is the second one from the top, and we click that, and it's going to give you your nutrients remaining, carbs, fats, and protein, and your number of calories that you got left per day. So here I've got 150 carbs, I've got 55 fats, I've got 170 grams of protein, which total a number of 1775 calories per day that you can eat. Once you consume that many calories, the protein, the fats, and the carbs, that's it. No more food. You cannot go past those targets. You don't have to eat to those targets. If you're not hungry, it's calories in versus calories out. But we cannot go over those targets. So now that's all set up properly, what I want you to do is start logging. So everything that has a barcode, we're going to be able to scan it. Everything that doesn't, I'll teach you how to log. So when you go into logging food, you'll see the barcode scanner. So you can click that and you'll be able to scan anything that has a barcode, like we said. But just make sure when you do scan it with the barcode, you check the back and make sure the macronutrients are the same as what you've scanned on the app, because this is a community-based program. MyFitnessPal can have anybody enter the information in there, and 95% of the time, they're incorrect. So you'll be chasing your tail, gaining weight, not knowing why, And once you just check your food in the back of the scan and also the barcode on the item that you scanned, you'll realize that, yeah, someone entered it wrong. They've stitched you up. So you need to go and change that. So for this sake, we're just going to search food. So say for argument's sake for breakfast, I am going to have some quick oats. All of my entries are pretty much here, but I'm going to quickly show you how to search for them. So at the top, you'll say quick oats, raw. The reason why I put raw in there is because we want to weigh everything at its raw state. When you join and you first get told we got to weigh everything raw, and you just ask yourself, why raw? The question, it's a valid question, but the reason why is because when you weigh something at its wet state and it's been dry, you add volume into it with water. So one day you're going to cook oats and you put a cup of water in with it. Second day you put 2 cups of water in with the oats, and it's going to become wetter. So it's going to have more volume of water in it. So the weights are going to be inconsistent. So the only way to go through and accurately get your weights right in MyFitnessPal is to weigh everything at raw state. So we want quick oats, raw. And we might even put Woolworths, because they're the Woolies ones. All right. So we've got that. We see here that there's a number of quick oats that we can have. Okay. So generally the rule of thumb is follow the trend. You've got 381 calories for 100 grams, 381, 100 grams, 381, 100 grams, 114 for 30 grams, 114 for 30 grams. So these top ones seem correct to me, so I'm just going to click one. Now, when you go to track this, you'll see that you can put your serving size, number of servings, and the meals for breakfast, obviously. So once you put your grams in and everything, it will come up with these 3, telling you, say, 30 grams of oats, it's going to have 19 grams of carbs, 2.7 grams of fat, and 3.9 grams of protein. So what you want to do is switch this over to 1 gram. We always want serving size to be 1 gram. Then the number of servings, if it's a fraction or decimal, we want to change it over. Okay, so we want to be able to put decimals in there to accurately get it right. So 1 gram of serving size and number of servings is going to be whatever you weighed on the scales. So I had 30 grams of raw weighted oats on the scales, so I'm going to put 30 in there. All right, it's going to come up and say it's got 19 grams of carbs, 2.7 grams of fats, and 3.9 grams of protein. Now, if I change that to 50 grams of oats, it's going to change the numbers of carbs, fats, and protein as well. So we want to be able to do this correctly. So say I've got 50 grams of oats, and I put that in there and log it. So next thing I'm going to do is protein powder. So I've got my Rule 1 protein powder that I have. I'm going to click into it. I'm going to go serving size is 1 gram. We know that. It's not 1 scoop. It's not 32.5 grams. It's 1 gram. Then whatever we weighed on the scales has to go in there. So if I've got 30 grams, has to go in there as 30 grams. Okay? Click OK. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have some Queen's maple syrup. So this thing is sugar-free. Makes everything awesome. So we go into it. Say I accidentally just clicked here and I go, oh, it's been logged. I just go back out and it's sitting right there. I can click on the item and it'll bring me back to here. So this is going to be done in mils. We're going to weigh everything raw and we're going to weigh everything volumized, like so solid food in grams, but liquids has to be in mils. Okay, so we're going to go 1 mil and then number of servings is going to be 35 mils. All right, that is a recommended serving on the back of the packet. So we go, okay. Then we're going to have some cinnamon. So say we got some cinnamon ground here. We click it. We say 1 teaspoon. No, we say 1 gram. Okay. So we don't do anything in spoons, cups, nothing. I never want to see any of you guys logging in that kind of measurement. It's always in grams, always in mils, okay? Otherwise, the coach will be on you and we won't be having a good time. So 1 gram serving size and number of servings we're going to have, we only put, say, about 2 grams. We log it. So then we back out. Everything's in there. So at the top of the breakfast, it'll have the daily target that you've just hit for that breakfast, which is 37.5 grams of carbs, 6.4 grams of fats, and 28.7 grams of protein. So that consists on all these, and that's 335 calories. Now, if you have a look, it's been taken off the target. We were about 1,700 when we first started. Now we're at 1,440. So each time you log the food, it deducts it from the total of your nutrients remaining. Morning tea. We're going to go and have some, let's say some rice cakes. Now, down here, you'll see the history. If you've logged something before, it's going to be in your history. So you can go on quick add. So you can go douche, 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 and you've got it in morning tea, all there. But for argument's sake, let's say that we just did morning tea. So rice cakes, we've got 12 grams in there. I know roughly that a rice cake is around about 4 to 6 grams, depending on the rice cake. Weigh it and put it accurately in there. So how many grams that you had. If you have 3 rice cakes and it's at 6 grams, you're going to go 1 rice cake times by 3. Okay, and then put the number in there. So what we want to do is make sure that we've got the strawberry jam as well in there for 1 gram, and the number of servings we have 30. And the peanut butter, Mavis peanut butter, 1 gram, not tablespoon, but it has 1 gram, okay? So that is acceptable. So it's going to be 20. So we scroll down. Now I've got 1,283 calories remaining, 79 carbs, 38 fats, and 135 protein. So we're moving on to lunch. So what do we do when chicken doesn't have a barcode on it? Well, I'll tell you. We're going to use a word called NUTAB. NUTAB is the Australian database of foods, and it's like a verification tick, like on Instagram, where you know it's been verified, okay? So like I said, a community-based environment like this, any Joe Blow down the road can enter his information here, whatever he wants, and screw the whole world over. So generally that's what happens. So what we want to do is use entries in there that are smart, that have been verified, that we know are correct. So say I've got a piece of chicken, I'm weighing it raw. So I've got chicken breast. It's raw. It's skinless because it's got no skin on it. And then we're going to NUTAB it. Now, your NUTAB entry will come up. The common denominator here says that calories for chicken breast around about 100 grams is 104. So 104 calories, we look at that and go, that's generally what everybody has on there. But as you can see, there's incorrect entries in there. This guy is correct because that's actually 104 times 2. So it's 200 grams. So, but you can see 99 calories, that's wrong, 104. So generally people are off by a couple of grams and you think, why does that matter? But trust me, at the end of the day, it's the little 1%ers are going to let you down. If you consistently track your food over the 12-week period and it's incorrect, then you're going to see the results on the scales, trust me. Or rather, not see the results. So we go 104. We make sure that it's in 1 gram, as we keep saying. Serving size, always gram. And I had 200 grams of raw chicken. Cooks down to around about half, maybe just a little bit more. So if that cooked down to about 130, then obviously depending on what you cooked it on, barbecue, oven, air fryer, they're all going to cook down to different values. So that's why I'm saying that you must weigh raw. That's the only way that we're going to do it accurately, okay? This is the name of the game. This is why you're here, accuracy. 1 gram, 200, log it. Now, we're going to have some sushi rice. So we've got some sushi rice here. We've scanned it. It's come up. We're going to go 1 gram. And we're going to go 30 grams. That's what we had at raw weight. If you put a large number of volume, say you did 200 cooked rice, and you've logged it as raw, when you put 200 in, watch the carbs. Now, that's incorrect tracking. You're going to go way over. So making sure it's in raw, 30 grams. Then cook it. If you do a bulk cook with, say, chicken, you've got a kilo of chicken and you've got 5 containers. So you've got kilo chicken at 200 each. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 1 kilo of chicken. You cook the whole chicken, it cooks down to around about 400. Okay, you know that you need to separate, you need to reweigh and divide that 400 by 5 because you've got 5 containers in front of you. And that's how you bulk cook. Same with rice, same with oats, if you do overnight oats or whatever. So you just basically weigh it raw, cook it, weigh it again, divide by the number of containers you need. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do cucumber. So cucumber also doesn't have any barcode. So what we want to do is go peeled, obviously raw. We want to put 1 gram. We're going to do 200. Okay. So as we've got this set at 200, we log it. We go back out. We have a look, and our lunch is done. Okay, so that's all we had for lunch. We can add salt, we can add pepper, we can add whatever, and we just have to log it in. Okay, so next thing, dinner. Let's go to dinner. We go, okay, so we've got a piece of rump steak for dinner. We go rump steak. It's semi-trimmed and it's raw, and we're going to nut tab it. So making sure that you put nut tab entry at the end of that. Beef rump steak, semi-trimmed. So trim the fat off your steaks or your any food that you have that you're going to cook with fat on it. And make sure you do not cook with those fats because that is bad. The fats will be absorbed in the meat and you'll be eating a lot of fats. So making sure that you put your grams in there, 250 grams had for dinner. Perfect. Now, Spud Light potatoes. So I had some Spud Light potatoes. We've got 25% less carbs. They have a Spud Light potatoes come in a bag and they've got a barcode so you can scan it as well. Okay. So what we want to do is go Spud Light potatoes. Now we had about, say for argument's sake, 500 grams of Spud Light at 1 gram serving size. So we back out and we have a look. So now we've only got 6 grams of carbs left, 20 grams of fats, 31 grams of protein, 370 calories remaining. So dessert, say I want to be very careful not to go over my fats, carbs, and my protein. So I know that I've got yogurt to have for dessert. So I've got the high protein yogurt, which is the YoPro, high protein yogurt. I add that. Now we look in it, we just make sure that it's 1 gram and 150 serving size. So as we've added that, I'm going to have some protein powder again. I'm going to mix it in with the yogurt. So I've already entered this one before, we could just quick add. So we go out and we have a look. I've gone over carbs and I've gone over protein and I've got heaps of fats. What do? So I need to obviously decrease the number of protein that I'm having. So if I go back into protein and rather than 30 grams of protein, I'm having 25. I click that and my protein's gone down. I know I also have protein powder at the beginning of the day. So I could go back in here and decrease that down to 25 as well to get under the target. So now I'm 1 gram of protein remaining, which is good. Now this is why you want to log your meals at the start of the day, because what are you going to do if you log them at the actual meal and then you go over your targets at the end of the day? You can't throw everything back up out of your system. You have to call that day as a loss. So the only way to get around it is if you log and pre-log the day before or the day of your morning starting eating. So I don't want to see anyone logging as they're eating. That is the incorrect way. That's not how you're going to do it properly. Okay. So as we want to go down to carbs, we want to decrease some of the carbs. So the high ticket of items of carbs you'll see in your entries. So you look at this and you go, well, that's a really high ticket item here. And the carbs, the fats and the protein are not so high. So I could probably take a dip out of this. So if I go this and go 480, just to get underneath my carbs. Look at that. I've gone to 0. So now I've got fats. What do? I need to put fats in my diet because of brain function, cognitive ability, hormones. I need fats in my diet, but I can't have any more carbs or protein. So what do? So what I would recommend is extra virgin olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil is 1-to-1 ratio. So what that means is 1 mil of olive oil is 1 gram of fat. So if you've got 10 fats remaining, you need 10 mils of olive oil. Okay. So we're going to put that in there and we're going to go, all right, we're going to put on extra virgin olive oil, we're going to put 1 gram, and we're going to put that in to our diary. Now, if we go back out, you'll see that we didn't lose any more carbs, we didn't gain any more fats, proteins, we only took a dip on fats. So for dinner, or lunch rather, because we've already got the olive oil into dinner, we're going to go to add some olive oil back into lunch. So let's go this. And put that in there, 10 grams, go back out. Now 1 gram over on my fat target. So what I want to do is go back into extra virgin olive oil and put 9 mils, weight to the gram. 0, and protein. I need 1 gram of protein. Now, this is where you have to make the decision whether you're going to be an absolute psychopath and try to get that 1 and try to get those calories down to 0 and have all zeros, or you call it a day. Now, 43 calories, if you were to eat 43 calories, it's not going to make you satiated. It's not going to fill you. You might as well just call it a day and leave it. All right. I wouldn't go chasing perfection, just chase consistency of calories in versus calories out and just leave it as it is. But for argument's sake, if you were a psychopath and you wanted to do it, then that's more than acceptable and you can try to chase the dream of the 0, 0, 0, 0. But in this case, say if I had 1 gram of protein left, I know that my high ticket items are something like chicken, and also protein powder with the protein. So if I look at my protein yogurt, I can't really afford to add any more carbs or fats. So we're going to go about 28 grams of protein powder and see how we end up. Oh, now look, we've gone over fats and protein. So I need to go back into the protein powder and go, maybe I'll just do 26 grams. Ooh, and maybe I'll do 27 grams just to get that right on the money. There you go. 0, 0, 0, and 35 calories remaining. Leave it as is. Do not touch it. Now, what I'm going to teach you is how to copy these meals for this next day, because you know you've got it perfect. So why mess with perfection? Eat the same things day in, day out for as long as you can for adherence. For accuracy, that's all that matters on this program. So we're going to edit, we're going to select all, we're going to copy to tomorrow. And as we've copied it, you look over tomorrow and here everything is. It's in there, ready to go. So I've already had an entry in there before, so that's why it's doubled up on the calories, because if you have a look, it'll say maple syrup twice. So you can just then copy it over for the next day after that. And I'll do this for the tutorial purposes. So copy, and we're going to go Tuesday. So if we go in 2 days' time, there it is, copied over, no mess, no fuss. Right, so that pretty much concludes how to log everything. So first of all, I just wanted to thank you again for allowing us to be a part of your weight loss journey. I look forward to speaking to you soon, and I'm going to do another tutorial video on how we're going to link up Trainerize to MyFitnessPal to achieve the success that we all came here for, to lose the fastest amount of weight in the smallest amount of time. Thank you very much, guys. I'll speak to you soon.